So first things first, how are you?
I'm good, man. Yeah, it's good to be back in Amsterdam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I want to start with is you. I have to find Dreamland. When did you find Dreamland?
Like the studio. Well, some friend told me about this studio up in like upstate New York, and that was like that he built in his old wooden church in the woods, and you know, thought it could be a cool thing to go out there for this record in particular, because we wanted to track a lot of it live, you know, and so like to set up in our big church room could be a cool thing, and yeah, this felt like a good thing. It's not too far away from Brooklyn where we live, so we just drove up there and wanted to do a lot of it pretty quick. So we did it like the main like live thing we did for like 5 days, and then we took it back to Midtown and we did like some overdub stuff for the horns and certain things. But the overall live vibe just took like 5 days, you know.
Why did you want to capture that live sound in particular?
I think because I don't know. I wanted like more of that kind of feel, and like a more like live, so organic feel, and a little bit like of a looser thing. Because I feel like if you don't, you know, I've done quite a few like live things, but you always end up feeling like it's not too much of a live thing. And this record, I was like, just like capture that, and then like add a few things on top of it, you know. But I think it adds some sort of urgency. You can sense it. And for like before we went to record a record, we did all these late night jams in the East Village and West Village, and that was like a really cool thing, because I used to just bring new songs to my friends that are great musicians in New York and Brooklyn, and they just used to like try, or they didn't really know the songs. I just brought them in, like, okay, the chorus is like, or the verse is like A and C, and the chorus is whatever, like, you know, and then it would be like, right, cool, let's go. And then so like the looseness of that, it's pretty amazing. It's like it adds, you know, they can add like the piano player would add like weird things that you might not normally do if you knew the songs too much, you know. So I kind of feel like I want to keep that thing. And I mean, they're great musicians, so it's not like they do that kind of stuff all the time. So I'm kind of lucky having them around, you know. So they don't really need to play a song too many times, like a lot of us need to, you know. They're just like, all right, fine, C, G, A, blah blah, let's go, you know.
When did you meet these guys? Because I believe you lived in Brooklyn since 2008, but then moved to LA for a while.
Yeah. Well, I've been in Brooklyn the most. I was in LA for like a year around the last record. I met, well, a few of them I met. I don't know. I feel like the scene is kind of small, like the certain scene. Like I met a few of these guys through a jam. My friend Clay brought me to in the West Village. It was pretty amazing. It was like in this tiny basement on kind of a fancy street, but the bar was not that fancy. And like my friend Craig Jarrett Johnson from Golden Smog had his jam down there, and they started at like, you know, people didn't start play before like 11:30 midnight, and then they played like 3 in the morning or whatever.
Sure.
And it was a mix of like, he plays with the Jayhawks, so it's like people like that down, but then they know a lot of people. So it was like a lot of incredible players, and then everything from like really famous musicians to people that are like just upcoming but amazing, you know. So it was like a really nice sort of mix of, you know, talented people and you know, beautiful people, like very friendly, lovely vibes.
Is your surroundings important in that sense? Well, you mentioned the East Village and New York, but also that church in particular. Does the surroundings have a big influence on how the music turns out, or what you do?
I think so, yeah. I mean, in some sort of way, you can never really like. I feel like every time I do something, like, you know, now we did this kind of vibe, so it's very New York record kind of for me, you know, because it was like inspired by all these jams with all these musicians from all kind of genres, you know, and like, you know, there's dingy bars everywhere, and then we took it up to this church in New York State, and it's like, And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I should go to like somewhere in Europe, like Berlin or like Amsterdam or whatever it is, like, and sit there and write for like a month and then like record in like, well, now I was just in Berlin, like recording Hansa with Bo Recorder or something. Like, I'll do weird, try something, you know, new every time. But for this record, it was really like, yeah, you know, I wrote everything at home in Brooklyn, took him to like a few of these like amazing like inspirational jams or whatever, and then like took it up there. So that really inspired the record, and the people around it, and also like what, you know, went through before, and I don't know.
And with that in mind, because you say with the last record, that was the year that you were in LA. So how do you look back on that record then?
The last record.
Yeah.
I think the last record was more. I think the reason why this record it feels a bit more like pure and kind of organic is because the last record was started up that way. We were up in Woodstock then too. Actually, we rented this old like artist colony hotel. It's like crazy old building that reminded me of The Shining. Kind of. It was like this huge hotel that was like artist hotels, so not like a fancy, just like a bunch of artists live there in the summer and create, but then in the winter no one's there. So my record label just like rented it out and closed it off for us. So it was like, you know, 40 room, but only 5 of us. And we would just stay there and wrote. So it was kind of a cool start to the last record. But then we had, you know, we went to LA and things kind of changed, and it was like a lot of industry, like inputs, and it got a little annoying, you know?
Is that part of kind of, well, people have their ideas about how LA works, but is that kind of true, the way the industry is there? And
I don't know, I think I went through on the last record. I know a lot of incredible and musicians and producers living out in LA, you know? It's a whole scene there that's like really pure and great. But I think what I went through was not great, you know? I know. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of amazing stuff going on in Los Angeles too. There's some studios out can possibly consider like working in the future, you know.
Okay, but in what way didn't it work for you then at that time?
Well, I think the record is fine. It's just a certain moments of the record I don't love, you know. I think I was kind of working. I guess some people around that like try to like influence the record more, and I feel like at this part in my life and my career, whatever I'm doing, I feel like I just want to do my thing. You know, I don't want too many like. I just want to write the songs. This record I produced myself with a friend, so it's really like coming from me. No one's really like not too many inputs, more than like my close surrounding of friends and like my drummer or keyboard player, whatever. Like these people I really trust, like and really respect their opinions. Like I would ask these people, like but it's not like you don't really need too many other people. I feel like it like pollutes whatever you're doing. What
did you discover then about your own songwriting style or the music that came out when it was just you?
Well, with this record it was good because we had like I stopped touring the last record and I took some time off, kind of this like focusing on writing and trying to figure out what to do. Terry, that played bass and that started with the band with, he left as well, so it was like a bit of a change,
Was it a surprise to you that because I believe he's focused on his own?
No surprise.
Okay.
We toured the last few records for bloody ages, like we toured out for like 5 years, 4 years. So he was just burned out, like he just couldn't take touring anymore, and he knew like, he was excited about like working on new music, but he just knew like what you have to do to, I don't know, to promote a record or whatever. But I feel like we did it, we toured so much, we took every tour almost for quite a bit, and now you kind of learn that you can't take every tour. Like you have to like choose your tours, and you, like, because then you enjoy them. You know what I mean? Like I love playing live. It's like the best thing ever. That's why I play music almost. So like I want to enjoy it, and I feel like if you do too much of anything, you're not going to enjoy it, are you? Sure. You know what I mean? You'll just OD on it. And I think we did, and that's what he was like, I can't. And also like, I started, producing more. I just really, it started with like me writing all the music, but we kind of produced it together. And then at the end of the thing, it was literally just like, I did everything almost. Mm-hmm. Not that he was like, I didn't let him do stuff, but more like, I guess it was harder for him to just tour around the world all the time, like just play my songs, and so he wanted to do his thing.
Was there a moment then where you thought, well, I'll do my own solo thing as well, and then not take the Alberta Cross name, or was it always
Right.
I'm gonna?
I thought, yeah, I don't know. I was kind of thinking about it for a little second, but then I'm like, you know, it's always been Alberta Cross, so it's been like my songs from day one, and kind of felt like with these songs and me producing this one, kind of like I did the first record, the Thief The Heartbreaker, kind of brought it back full circle. So it kind of made sense really to like continue, like with the name, and like feel, yeah, I don't know, I feel like a good thing. I didn't want to leave like the band after the last record because I feel like this would be, you know, a better record for the name or whatever. And now I feel like I'm in a good place because of like that. I took it back and I'm just working with people that like let me do my thing now. So like it inspires you a lot. So now I write a lot of music, and when you put a new record out, not in like 15 years, so like soon enough. So